Good evening, Miami. Good evening, Puerto Rico. Good evening, the whole South America and United States. Tonight we're going to bring you another country music artist biography brought to you by me. Okay? And before I started, my name is Orlando Valido, Oli Valido, or Pimpoli, as they call me on YouTube. I am a handicapped farmer, highly afraid, and I love to do this podcast about different contribution artists, reggaeton, and so many other genres too. Okay, let's get started here with the first name that we're going to talk about, Chet Atkins. Chet Atkins. Here comes the first picture of him and the second picture of him. Now, we're going to talk about his biography, how he started to be a singer and composer and songwriter and country music. Let's see what this is all about. Okay, his real name is Chet Atkins. Reddick here from former U.S. Congressman Chet G. Atkins. Mr. Guitar. Read that here from the album by Charlie Bird and see by Mr. Guitar album. Chester Burton Atkins was born on June 20, 1924 to June 30, 2001, known as Mr. Guitar, and the country gentleman was an American musician who, along with Owen Bosley and Bob Ferguson, he helped create the Nashville sound and the country music style, which is expanded it to appear as a dub or a dub pop music form. He was primarily a guitarist, but he also played the mandolin, the fiddle, the banjo, and the ukulele, and occasionally sang. Okay, Atkins' signature picking style was inspired by Merle Travis. All the major guitar influences were Dee Younger, Wayne Hart, George Barnett, Lee Powell, and later Jerry Reed. Excuse me for that. His distinctive picking style and musicianship brought him to admire inside and outside the country scene, both in the United States and abroad. Atkins spent most of his career at RCA Victor, producing the record for The Brown, Hank Snow, Bonnie Warner, Norma Jean, Dolly Parton, Dolly West, Barry Como, Floyd Kramer, Elvis Presley, and then Elvis' brother, Eddie Arnold, Don Gibson, Jimmy Reeves, Jerry Reed, Shaky Davis, and Waylon Jennings, Roger Whittaker, and many, many others too. Very interesting guys. Rolling Stone credited Atkins with the inverted and popularized Nashville sound and rescue country music from a commercial slump and ranked him at number 21 on the list of 100 greatest guitarists of all time. Among many others honors, Atkins received 14 Grammy Awards and the Grammy of Lifetime Achievement Award. He also received 9 Country Music Association Award Instrumental of the Year. He was introduced to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Country Music Hall of Fame Museum, and the Musician Hall of Fame, and the Museum of George Harrison. I was inspired by Chet Atkins of the Beatles. Songs such as All My Loving show the influence. What is the influence? I guess, let's see here, table of contents, 1 biography, 1.1 Sarah and early life, 1.2 early musical career, 1.3 singing with the RCA Victor, 1.4 performer and producer, 1.5 later career, 2 death and legacy, 3 the graphic, 4 reference, 6 further reading, and 7 external link. Okay, let's go here with the full autobiography of Chet Atkins. Atkins was born, like I said, on June 20, 1924, in Luttrell, Tennessee, near Clinch Mountain. Luttrell was spelled Luttrell, Tennessee, and Clinch Mountain. His parents divorced when he was 6 years old, after which he was raised by his mother, who was the younger of the 3 boys, and a girl. He studied on ukulele, later moving to the fiddle, but he made a drum with his brother Lowell when he was 9 years old, and pistol and some chord for guitar. He studied in 1974 autobiography. We were so poor that everybody around us was so poor that he was 40 before anyone even knew that he had been a depression. Wow, they were in the depression that years. I guess I'm forced to relocate to Folsom, Georgia, outside the Columbus, to live with the father because of the critical asthma condition. Atkins was a sensitive youth who became obsessed with music and become his illness. Because of his illness, he was forced to sleep in a straight back chair and breathe comfortably. Well, something like that happened to me too. Although at 9, he played his guitar until he fell asleep holding it as a habit and lasted his whole life. Like that. While living in Folsom, Atkins attended the historic Mountain Hill School. Mountain Hill School. He returned that 1998 to play a series of charity concert to save the school from demolition. Stories have been told about every young Chet who went as a friend and relative who come to visit and play guitar. Quality the music, the musician, and he put his ear too close to the instrument that he become difficult for the visitor to play. To play. Atkins became an accomplished guitarist while he was in high school. He used to restroom in the school to practice because he had a good acoustic. The first guitar had a nail and nut. It was so broad about that only the first few feet could be used. He later purchased a semi-acoustic electric guitar AMP, but he had to travel many miles to find electrical outlet, since his home didn't even have electricity. At the time, wow, what a time there was that. And he had to practice in the school bathroom. That's incredible. I bet back in those years was pretty normal and anybody could do it. Later in life, his identity gave him, along with John Noel, his last name is Knowles. Tommy Emmanuel, Steve Warner, and Jerry Reed, honorary degree in CGP, certified guitar player. In 2011, his daughter Mel Atkins Russell vetoed the CGP degree for his longtime sideman Paul Yadel. Paul Yadel, that was spelled his last name Yandel. She then declared no more CGP will be allowed by Atkins estate. Very interesting. Okay, his half-brother Jim was a successful guitarist who worked with Lee Paul Trio in New York. Atkins did not have a strong style on his own until 1939, when while he still living in Georgia, he heard Miles Travis picking over WRW radio. This early influence dramatically shaped his unique playing style, whereas Travis used to index finger his right hand for the melody and the thumb for the bass note. The note Atkins expanded his right hand. His style includes picking with the first three fingers with the thumb on the bass. What a talent is that! Chet Atkins was an amateur radio general class. Amateur radio general class. I love amateur radio too. I trying to get my general technician, and then I'll get my general class, which is I love amateur radio, even CB radio I have done back in the 80s. It was a lot of fun for me using CB radio talk to the whole world related to. You don't really need amateur radio license to do it. A simple CB radio will do it with high frequency, of course. You formerly using the call sign WA for CCD. The radio station will call it this: Whiskey, America for Charlie Sibra Denmark. Or Denmark. That's how we talk on the radio. So the person with the other side will be able to understand you better. Because sometimes the radio waves die out a little bit. It's hard to understand too. He obtained the variety call sign W4CGP, Whiskey 4 Charlie Golf Papa, in 1998, include the CGP and the Wood Charlie Golf Papa destination with supposedly 235 guitar picker. Yeah, about that. A guitar picker who was a member of the American Radio Relay League. American Radio Relay League. Back then, wow. And that was in 1924. Long time. That's our organization exists. I am impressed. Oh yeah. And I love radio too. Early musical career, here we go with that. After dropping out of high school in 1942, Atkins landed on the job at WNOS. And this will sound like this: Whiskey, Nancy, Orlando, X-Ray, AM, okay? For those of you who know what I'm talking about on the radio. Now WNMR, Radio in Gainesville, where he played fiddle guitar with his singing Bill Charles, and the comments Archie Campbell. And he became a member of the station Dixieland Swing Jester as a small swing instrument combo. After 3 years, he moved to WLWAM, Whiskey Lima, Whiskey AM, in Cincinnati, Ohio, where most drivers are formerly worked. After 6 months, he moved to Relay RALEIGH, Relay, North Carolina, I guess, and worked with Johnny and Jack before heading to Richmond, Virginia, where he performed with Sunshine Shoe Workman, Atkins and shy personality work against him, and did not fact that his sophisticated style led many to doubt he was a truly country. He was a fire often, but he was soon able to land another job at another radio station on account of his unique playing ability. Okay? Atkins and Jethro born Homer and Jethro married with their sister Leona Louise Johnson, who sang as Levine for Johnson and Johnson's sister. Leona Atkins, alive for her husband by a year, died in 2009 at the age of 85. 2009 at the age 85, keep me for that. I must read here. Driving into Chicago, Atkins auditioned for the Red 40, who was leaving his start position on WLS. I am Wiki Lima Sam AM National Beam Dance to join the Grand Opry. Atkins made his first appearance on Opry, the Opry in 1946. As a member of the 40 band, he also recorded a single for Nashville-based Bullet Records. And that year, the single Guitar Blue was very progressive, including cleric solo by Nashville dance band musical Dutch MC Million, with Ona Valley on piano. He also expired on the Opry, but when he was caught, Atkins moved onto the KWTO, Kilo Whiskey, Toronto, Ontario, in Springfield, Missouri. Despite the support of the crucified Seaman, however, his son was fired for not sounding country enough. Okay. Singing with the RCA record, better RCA, here we go with that. While working in a Western band in Denver, Colorado, Atkins came to the attention of the RCA Victor. Shipman had been encouraged Steve Scholl to sign Atkins as a star with a success. Most Travis had hit recording artist was substantially or was only her voice on the shoehole AEI, director of the country music RCA Victor and track Atkins down in Denver. He made his first RCA Victor recording in Chicago in 1947, but did not sell well. He did some of the studio work for the RCA that year, but then he had to relocate to Nashville again, where he worked with Homo and Jethro on WNOS, with Nancy, Ontario, X-Ray, and the new Saturday night radio show in Tennessee born dance and popular midday merry-go-round. In 1949, left the WNOS to join Young Carter with the mother Mabel and the Carter sister on KWTO. The incarnation of the Carter family featured Mabel Carter and Dara and June, Helen and Anita, and the work soon attracted attention from the Grand Opry, and the group relocated again to Nashville, Tennessee in the mid-1950s. Atkins began working on the recording station and performing on WSM AM Opry, that's the Grand Opry radio station in Tennessee and become the member of the Opry in 1950. About that, while he had hit the record for the RCA Victor, his signature was going. He began to assist in Shoeless as a session lender when the New York-based producer needed help organizing Nashville session for the RCA. Victor Atkins' first hit single was Mr. Sandman. Oh my God, Mr. Sandman. That's a great song. Followed by Silver Bell, which he recorded a duo with the Hack Nose. His album became more popular. He was featured on the ABC TV, The Eddie Arnold Show, on the summer of 1956, on the Country Music Jubilee. In 1957, 1958, but then renamed Jubilee USA. In addition, recording Atkins was a design consultant for the Great Touch, that was spelled GRETSCH, which is manufactured popular Chet Atkins line of the guitar from 1955 to 1980. He became the manager of the RCA Victor in Nashville studio, eventually inspiring and seeing the completion of the legendary RCA Studio B, the first studio built specifically for the purpose, of the recording of the now famous music role. Also later known, Shaq Warner Bradley will become instrumental in the creation of the Studio B at Johnson, building RCA Studio A as well. Yeah. Okay, here we go with performer and producer. When Shoe took over the pop production in 1957, it was such a success with Elvis Presley. He put Atkins in charge of the RCA Victor Nashville division, which a country music recorder sale, declaring that the rock and roll become more popular. Atkins and Bob Ferguson took over the accused from Owner Bradley and eliminated fiddle and steel guitar as a means of making singer appear pop fan, and they become known as the Nashville Sound, which Atkins said it was a label created by the media for the style of the recording during that period, intended to keep country and their job valuable. Atkins used a Jordan Navy and rhythm section to hit shows at Jim Reeves for War, Hell Had to Go, Hell Had to Go, Don Gibson, All Lonesome Me, Blue Blue Day, There Once Were, and the phenomenon of having a cultivated crossover to the pop success and become more common. He had badly had essentially to put producer to the driver's seat, guiding the artist's choice of the material and musical background. Atkins made his own record, which he usually visited pop standards and jazz and sophisticated home studio, often recording the rhythm track at the RCA and adding his solo part at home, refining the track until the results satisfy him. Guitarists have a style and came to admire various Atkins albums for the unique musical idea, in some cases experimental electric idea. In this period he became known internationally as Mr. Guitar, inspiring the album Mr. Guitar, engineered by both Bob Ferris, Bill Porter, Ferris and replacement as a replacement. At the end of March of 1959, Porter took over the He took over the chief engineer at the RCA Nashville studio in a space eventually known as Studio B, after vastly expanded with a second studio in 1960. At the time, the Soul Nashville studio had no letter or destination. Porter soon helped I can get better reverberation sound from the studio and get my effects and device. The device they call EMT placed reverb, REVERB, with the recording year. Porter found that studio acoustic to be problematic and he devised and set acoustic amplifier to hang from a ceiling and then select the position for the microphone based on the resonance of the room mode. The sound of the recording improved significantly and the studio achieved a string of success. The Nashville sound became more dynamic. For that sake, in later years when Bradley asked how to achieve the sound Atkins told him it was Porter. Porter described Atkins as a respectful musician when he recording, and someone who was out in tune. He would not single that this person out by name. Instead, he would say something like, "We got a little tuning problem." Instead of naming that person, everybody can see what's going on, and the network Atkins would instruct Porter to turn the opening or play it down in the mix. When Porter left RCA in late 1964, Atkins said the second was never the same, never as great. Wow. Atkins' trademark Atkins' style of playing used a thumb on the first two and sometimes three fingers for the right hand, and he developed this style from listening to Travis, yes. Occasionally, a primitive video he was so sure that no one could play that articulately with the thumb in that finger, which was exactly how Travis played. He assumed required the thumb or two fingers, and he was a style he pioneered the mastery. He enjoyed jamming with fellow studio musicians as they were asked to perform the Newport Jazz Festival in 1960. A performer was cancelled because of violin, but live recording group after the violin Newport was released and Atkins performed by invitation at the White House for every U.S. president from John F. Kennedy to George W. Bush. Atkins was a member of the $1 Million Band during the 1980s. He also was known for his song Yankee Doodle Dixie, in which he played Yankee Doodle and Dixie simultaneously on the same guitar. Wow, interesting. Before his mentor, Shirless, died in 1968, Atkins became the vice president of the RCA Country Division in Nashville, Tennessee. In 1987, he told 901 Network magazine that he was ashamed for his promotion. I wanted to know if a guitarist, and I know too that they gave you a title like that in live money. So beware what they want to make you vice president. You have brought Willie Jennings, Willie Nelson, Colin Smith, Bobby Bear, Dolly Parton, Jerry Reed, and John Hartford to the label in 1960 and inspired and helped countless others. He took a considerable risk during the mid-1960s when the civil rights movement brought violence throughout the South by singing country music. The first African-American singer Charlie Pride, who sang raw and country smoothie music Atkins had pioneered. Atkins' biggest hit single came in 1965 with Jackie Ike, that was spelled Yakettyase, an adaptation of the Jackie song by his friend saxophonic Rudolph. He already performed this day. Eventually, he hired RCA producers such as Bob Ferguson, Fallon Jarvis to lessen its workload. Because later career in 1970, Atkins became increasingly increasingly stressed by his executive and duty. He produced a few records but could still turn out to such a very common in 1973 pop hit I Love You So. He recorded extensively with a close friend and fellow picker Jerry Reed, who had become a hit artist on his own right at the 1973 diagnosis of colon cancer. However, led Atkins to redefine his role as a RCA record to allow others to handle the administration while he went back to his first love, the guitar, and often recording with Reed or even Jethro Burn from Homer and Jethro. His brother-in-law, after Homer died in 1971, Atkins would turn over his administrative duty to Jerry Bosley, son of owner in 1973 RCA record Victor. Atkins did a little production work at the RCA after stepping down. In fact, he hired producer labor in 1960 among Bob Ferguson, Ferdinand Jarvis, Jarvis, as a recording artist. Atkins grew delusional with RCA record in the late 1970s. He felt shifted because his recording company would not let him branch into the jazz. He also produced a late 60s jazz recording by Canadian guitarist Lenny Breau, B-R-E-A-U. A friend approached him in his mid-1970s collaboration with the influential Larry Powell, Shatter Letter, and Guitar Monster had already reflected the interest. Shatter and Letter was one of the best-selling recordings Atkins' career. At the same time, he could dissatisfied with the direction of Greatest Greats H no longer family on and was withdrawal of his organization or authorization for the term to use the name and began to designing guitar with the Gibson. Atkins ended his 35-year association with RCA Records in 1982 and signed with Columbia Records, for whom he produced a debut album in 1983. Wow, so he ended it with RCA and went to Columbia Records. So in other words, he left. He didn't want to be nothing to do with it. No manager, no co-producer, nothing like that. That's what I mean. Jazz always have been a strong love for his and often his career. He was a criticized by a pure country musician for a jazz influence. He also said on many occasions that he did not like being called a country guitarist, insisting that he was a guitar period. Also, he played by ear, and who was a masterful improviser, and who was able to read music, even perform some classical guitar pieces. For the Roger C. Field, as a friend suggested to him in 1991, his record performed with female singers, and he did with Susie Bogus, Boggguss. He returned to his country roots for the album, and he recorded with Mark Knopfler of Florida. I have to spell this one for you guys. His last name, Knopfler, and Jerry Reed. And as long as Mr. Atkins, one of his early influences, Atkins also collaborated with Australian guitar legend Tommy Emmanuel. Or he began he had been asked to name his 10 most influential guitarists of the 20th century. He named DJ Ango, DJ-A-N-G-O, Reinhardt, that was spelled Reinhardt, on the first position to place himself on the list. Later that year, he even went back to radio, appearing on Garrison Keillor's very home compassion radio program, American Public Media Radio, and even picking up the fiddle from that time, and perform a song church about Will, Corina, Willie Nelson, seven Spanish angels, yes, with Nelson in 1985 broadcast on the show's British Auditorium campus in Paloma College. Very interesting. Okay, here we go with that legacy. I don't like that, but I have to say it anyway. I don't like this part, but that. Atkins received numerous awards, including 14 Grammy Awards on the 9th Country Music Association Award Instrumentalist of the Year in 1993. He was honored with a Grammy, a Lifetime Achievement Award, a Billboard Magazine Award from his Century Award, and highest honor, Distinguished Creative Achievement in December of 1997. Atkins notably for his broad influence, his love for numerous styles of music can be traced from his early recording to Stride, pianist James P. Johnson Rank, all the way to rock stallion Harry Johnson, and invited guest Atkins recording session who went Atkins and attempted to copy his influential rocker Cliff of Dover. Cliff, CLIFFS of Dover, led Atkins' creation to a unique agreement along the way, Danny Boy. The classical guitar selection includes almost all his albums But for many American artists working in the field, today the first classical guitar that I ever heard is recorded smooth jazz guitar to he played in American airwaves today. Atkins continued to perform in 1990, but his health declined after he was diagnosed again with colon cancer in 1996. He died on June 30, 2001 at his home in Nashville, Tennessee at the age of 77. His memorial service was held by Raymond Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee, who was buried in Hapdeth, Harpeth Hill Memorial Garden in Nashville, Tennessee. Stretch of the Interstate 185 southwest of Georgia between the Grande and Columbus is named Chet Atkins Parkway. The stretch Interstate runs through Fulton, where Atkins spent most of his childhood. Okay. In 2002, Atkins was posthumously introduced into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He was awarded, represented by Marty Stewart, Brian Setzer, and accepted by Atkins' grandson, Jonathan Russell. And the following year, Atkins ranked the number 28 on the country music television on 40 greatest hits, greatest man contribution. The 40 greatest man of country music, that's right. At the age of 13, the future jazz guitarist Earl Clark, his last name is K-O-U-G-H, was captive watching Atkins guitar playing on the Perry Como show. Similarly, he was being influenced by Doyle, Drake. Atkins also inspired Drake, Jones, and Tommy Emmanuel. Johnny Riley's Tom picking style came from Atkins playing. Slim Black album Nothing But That Starlight include the song of the Ode to Chet, which include lyric "Cause I can win over like Romeo did Juliet. If I can only show her, I can almost pick that leg like Chet. I'd take more than Bay 1, 2, and 3. If I am ever going to play like CGP, I can play guitar on the track. At the end of the song, Black and Atkins had a brief conversation. Atkins song Young Man equally used to commercial for ESURANCE. In 1997, a tribute to Chet's tune. So Atkins' Chet's tune was produced for Atkins' birthday with a contribution by a long list of RCA Victor artists, including Eddie Arnold, Coleman Smith, Jerry Reed, Willie Nelson, Hank Snow, and others. And the song was written by Nashville songwriter Guy Cooper, que performed by Tommy Tycoben, a fan of Atkins, and the single reached the number 38 on the country charts. In 2009, Steven Winter, with his album title My Trouble, Chet Atkins, one of the songs that recorded produced by Melody Fisher featuring Winter recreation of the several famous son of Atkins, both produced and performed, produced by Melody, won the Grammy Award for Best Country Instrumental Performance in 2010. In November of 2011, Rolling Stone magazine ranked Atkins as number 21 on the list of 100 greatest guitarists all time. That's amazing. Okay, here we go with the graphics. We're almost finished, guys. Yeah, okay. Industry Award, Country Music Association, 1967, Instrumental of the Year, 1968, Instrumentalist of the Year, 1969, the Shazam, all the way to 1988, Musician of the Year. Okay, Country Music Hall of Fame Museum, introduced in 1973. Okay, here we go with award and winning. Okay, 1971, Best Country Instrumental Performer with Jerry Reed. And that was in 1972, me and Jerry. And he won that. And then the following Best Country Instrumental Performer with Merle Travis. The Atkins Traveling Show. And he won that one too. The Best Country Music Performer, Entertainer, and won that too. Best Instrumental Performer with Lee Powell, Chester and Lester, won that one too. Best Country Instrumental Performer, Country After All This Year, 1982, and won that too. Best Country Instrumental with Mark Knopfler and Knopfler, and that was in 1986, Comic Square Dance, and won that one too. And Best Country Instrumental Performer by with Mark Knopfler, 1991, Soft Goodbye, and who won that one too. 1991, vocal collaboration with Mark Knopfler, for Boy Blue, and who won that too. Best Country Performer with Jerry Reed, 1993, Sneaking Around and won. 1993 Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, honor, and that was in 1993. And here we go with Best Country Performer with Asleep at the Wheel, Anderson Samuelin, Johnny Gimble, 1994, Red Wing, won that one. Best Country Music Instrument Performer, 1995, John Tang, won that too. Best Country Instrumental Performer 1996. Yeah, man. I won that too. Okay, alright. So we'll finish. Okay, we'll finish with Chet Atkins. And let me read here the background, and we're done with this. Okay, background information. First name: Chester Burton Atkins. Born on June 20, 1924, Luttrell, Tennessee, USA. And this was spelled Luttrell, Tennessee, US. Died on June 30, 2001, at the age of 77 years old. Nashville, Tennessee, USA. Genre: country, pop, jazz, rock, folk, vocability, country rock. Occupation: musician, songwriter, producer. Yes, he was. For the RCA. Instrument: guitar. Year active: 1942-1996. Label: RCA Victor, Columbia Record, and this is it. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching me and listening to me with this long autobiography of Chet Atkins. And like always, I would like to ask you to pray for yourself, pray for your family, pray for your neighbor, pray for your country, pray for the world. There will be no more pandemic, no more wars, no more corruption. We need none of that. We need to live in peace and harmony, and with love with one another. Okay, so thank you for watching me. God bless you, all of you. Have a good day.